This video is sponsored by ESR Gear. Alright, so let's say you just picked up your brand new iPad Air 5 or whatever iPad that you received, but specifically the iPad Air 5 for this video because that's what I have got right here in my hand, and these are the cases I have by ESR Gear. And this is going to be the Rebound Hybrid Case 360. In this case, it's going to be a really protective case, but it's really functional, and I'll show you why in just a moment. Now, the cases I have are going to come in 3 different colors that I have here, as well as an additional one that you can find online. Now, when it comes to why I like this case so much, let's go over a few talking points, as well as showing you what is actually really awesome about this. And for one, the packaging is nice and simple. They don't kind of get over the top, and you just pull out the accessory and then you can just get started in using it. Now, when it comes to using the actual case itself, there's a couple really awesome features that this case specifically has. So starting off by just taking a look at the case from the outside, you can see that there's a flap that goes over the Apple Pencil and keeps it nice and secure, so you don't have to worry about dropping your Apple Pencil and losing it. Now, when it comes to using the actual case, it has a couple cool little stand options, and I believe there's 6 in total, and we'll go over a couple of them that I think are the most versatile with this case. Now, when it comes to using this case, it's going to be really simple because you can just take it out, and this actually comes with a little piece, as you can probably see right over here, and this will let you actually install this case for either the iPad Pro or the iPad Air, and that's going to be the iPad Pro 11-inch specifically. So now when it comes to installing the case, it's going to be very simple as long as you get that little camera cutout piece right there, so that way it can just easily fit your iPad. And if you have the iPad Air, you don't have to use that. It's just to kind of give it a more full protective look. And then once you get that in, it'll be nice and snug in the case. Your Apple Pencil will go in this little inlet that's on the side there. And then you can go ahead and just close it up just like that. Now, this case does have that sleep to wake feature, as you can tell right there. And all the cutouts are going to be perfectly cut out, especially with the camera and the microphones at the top and on the back. And then on the bottom and on the top for the speaker grills are cut out absolutely perfectly. And when it comes to the USB port, there's enough space to basically use almost any dongle you're going to have or any other accessory. And the best part is it is also a protective case. Now, something about this case that they really wanted me to mention is that it's more than a case. And that is very true from what I've seen, because as they have told me, they designed it for both protection and also work and play and drawing and all this kind of stuff. So they've actually really taken into consideration the use cases for the iPad. And the best part is this one case can actually handle a lot of different workloads. So let's go over the stand options right now. So right here we have kind of what we've been familiar with the typical kind of stand option when it comes to the iPad. So yeah, this is one option here, and this is the other typical option that we see, as you can tell there. However, they also have another option, and as you can see on the back, or you might not be able to see, there's a little ridge here. So you can completely make this flat, and then you pop this out, and then you get 2 views right here. So you get one that's a little bit more kind of squared up, and then this one is a little bit more angled. So that's a really cool option there. And then also when you're coming back to the stand option right here, and this is going to be another feature that's really cool about this case, you can actually pop off this back piece. So you get a nice protective case that lets you see the color as well as give you a nice accent color, which is really cool there. And then you can actually also, a little harder to do on the camera, but let's get it lined up right there. You can even get it in portrait mode, which I think is really cool, especially if you want to get it hooked up with a Bluetooth keyboard of some type. That way you can actually just write a full-on essay like as if it's a full page right up. And I know that's a really kind of common form factor there. Now let's talk more about the sponsor for this video. ESR Gear makes some really incredible cases for any of your devices that you own. Now their slogan is tech made easier, and they definitely deliver on that promise. And what you're going to be getting with some of the cases that they offer and some of the other accessories is that it's more than just a case. It's designed for both protection in a lot of scenarios and also work and play, which is really nice. Now, when you take into consideration an accessory like this case, you can really see that they've really taken the time to think about all the different use cases, as well as some of the other accessories. So make sure you stay tuned and check out the links in the description. Now, when it comes to using the case on its own, It does add a little bit of bulk, but it's not overwhelming and it's not kind of in the way. It does add a little bit of weight, but it doesn't make it too heavy, which is also really nice. And the best part for me is this flap right here that secures your Apple Pencil, as well as giving you the ability to pop this off completely, because that is something that I really like doing. There's a lot of times where I feel like the flap gets in the way, at least for how I like holding it, and I love how I can just detach it and then that way write out my notes. And also when you do that, if you're writing notes, it's really flat. And then if you want any of the angles, you attach this and you get all the different folio options that you would normally have with any other folio. And when it comes to just drawing with the case when it's flat, it's perfectly fine. I don't have any issues with it. But for me, I just love the feeling of holding the iPad without any folio on it sometimes. Little weird like that sometimes, but that's just what I prefer. So I love how this case just includes that. Like, you have no idea how awesome that is for me. Now, when it comes to using the Touch ID sensor, one thing I really like is how it has a little bit of a groove that kind of goes into it. So your finger can easily just slip into that little recessed area for the Touch ID. So it makes it a little bit easier to just place your finger in the perfect position, because you can kind of get a feel for what it should feel like when it's, you know, positioned in the right way. Now, as I mentioned, there are a couple different colors they sent out to me. So this right here is this nice blue color that they offer. And then they also will offer a green option right here, which I think is really nice, and it matches with my shirt a bit. And then they also have a nice standard black option, which is one of my favorite options just because it's, you know, nice and professional. I think this is good for when I want to take my iPad to work, and then I'll probably use this blue one at home when I'm kind of not so worried about getting this thing dirty. And the good thing about this also is it does get stained sometimes, but it's really easy to clean off, so you don't have to worry about this getting too dirty right away like some other cases. So they always have premium quality materials, which I really like about ESR Gear, and it's why I'm so excited to actually work with them to bring this video. So if you want to check out more ESR Gear cases, or if you want to check out these cases specifically, I'll have links down in the description below for where you can pick it up, both on Amazon and also on the ESR website. So make sure you check out the links down there. Now, if you want to see any other accessories that are really cool for the iPad Air 5, stay tuned, because I have some really exciting stuff coming in the mail very shortly. So stay tuned for that and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to check out the sponsor of this video, ESR Gear, down below. And until next time, don't forget to take it easy with some tea.